Hello students, good morning. Let's begin our chapter with science subject. Number 14, light and formation of shadow. The sun is the main natural source of light. What is light? The object that glows brightly and its brightness spread everywhere is light, जिसे हम प्रकाश या रोशनी कहते हैं. अरे स्टूडेंट्स, ये क्या है? What is this glittering object? Students, they are said to be fireflies. Fireflies means जुगनू, जो रात के अंधेरे में चमकते हैं. ठीक है, जुगनू जो होते हैं ना, उनके पंख रात के अंधेरे में रोशनी उत्पन्न करते हैं और फिर वो हमें कुछ इस प्रकार दिखाई देते हैं, जिसे हम कहते हैं fireflies. Okay, what type of fish it is? It look like alien, no? Yes, it is very dangerous. But student, these fishes are found deep into the ocean and they are named as anglerfish. Okay, so these anglerfish are light producing fishes in deep ocean. Yes, let's know more about anglerfish. Anglerfish have a lighted dangling lure that look like a fat juicy worm, and the anglerfish entice prey close with the glowing lure, then pounce. The anglerfish's glows come from luminous bacteria that live in its lure. In some anglerfish species, the male is much smaller than the female. समझ में आया बच्चों? Anglerfish. Yes, ये जो लर है वो जूसी वॉर्म जैसा दिखाई देता है और जो पानी के अंदर ग्लो करता है, चमकता है. यस, तो उसको देखकर क्या होता है, जो छोटी छोटी मछलियाँ होती है ना, उनको ऐसे लगता है कि कुछ खाने की चीज़ है, और जैसे ही वो उस लर के पास जाती हैं वैसे ही एंगलर फिश उनको खा जाती है. स्टूडेंट्स, व्हाट इज दिस? These are honey mushrooms. These mushrooms also produces light. Okay, so let's see, when they produce light, how do they look? See students, how do the honey mushroom looks on producing light? Okay, so in this manner honey mushrooms are producing light. At night time you can see the glow. Yes, it glow like a radium. Honey fungus is a white rot fungus which is a pathogenic organism that affect tree, shrubs, woody climbers and rarely woody herbaceous perennial plant. Honey fungus can grow on living, decaying and dead plants material. Okay, so this is the information about honey mushrooms. Okay, which are also said to be honey fungus. Luminous object. The objects which emits light are called luminous objects. Let's see which are the luminous objects around us. Lamp, torch, bulb, candle. Okay students, so these are the objects which gives light. Okay, so that is why they are said to be luminous ऑब्जेक्ट। ठीक है, तो ये सारे वस्तु जो है वो प्रकाश निर्माण करती हैं, इसीलिए ये ल्यूमिनस ऑब्जेक्ट है स्टूडेंट्स। लेट्स सी नॉन ल्यूमिनस ऑब्जेक्ट। तो नॉन ल्यूमिनस ऑब्जेक्ट क्या होगा स्टूडेंट्स? हाँ, जिससे प्रकाश निर्माण नहीं होता। तो जिस वस्तु से प्रकाश नहीं आता उसे हम नॉन लुमिनस ऑब्जेक्ट कहते हैं। जैसे पत्थर, पत्थर प्रकाश निर्माण नहीं करता, इसलिए वो नॉन लुमिनस ऑब्जेक्ट है। ऐसे बहुत से ऑब्जेक्ट्स हैं जो प्रकाश उत्पन्न नहीं करते, जैसे मिट्टी, हाँ, लकड़ी, ये सब प्रकाश निर्माण नहीं करते, इसलिए ये नॉन लुमिनस ऑब्जेक्ट हैं। The objects that are not source of light are called non-luminous object. I repeat, the objects that are not source of light are called non-luminous object. Now we are going to see propagation of light. That is, how light propagate. Yes, students? Light propagate in a straight line. Light always travel in a straight line. So, let's see how light propagate by a small example. Students, we can see it is a dark room, okay, and the light is entering the room. Rays of light entering through a slit of a door or a small hole in a roof. Yes, you can see that the rays of light, it enters the room straight. So, this shows that light travels in a straight line and it is called as linear propagation. Student, it is called as linear propagation of light. Now, let's look at the activity given. Take 3 cardboard. Make a small hole in the center of each cardboard using a thick needle. Arrange the cardboard in such a way that the 3 holes are in same line, as shown in the figure. Stand a burning candle on one side of the cardboard and look at the flame of the candle from other side. So students, in first step, you can see the flame of the candle clearly. Why? Because none of the cardboard is disturbed. Yes, the light perfectly travels in a straight line. But in the second step, you can see when any one of the cardboard is moved, the flame of the candle is not visible to our eyes. It shows that light travels in a straight line. Light travel in straight line is said to be linear propagation of light. Students, let's look at the definition. Light travels in a straight line is called linear propagation of light. We are going to see reflection of light. How do we see an object? The rays of light falling on an object from a source of light are thrown back from the surface of that object. This is called reflection of object. And we see object when reflected rays reach to our eyes. Is that clear, students? This is how we are able to see the object. Students, do you know this? Stars are luminous. That is, they have their own light. But planets, satellites are non-luminous. They get reflected light from sun. Sunlight reflected from the surface of the moon reaches us, and that is how we can see the moon, and we all call this light as moonlight. When you see your face in a mirror, the light reflected from your face falls on the mirror and get reflected back again. That is why you see image in the mirror. The left and right side of the original object appear to be exchanged in the mirror image. The image is as far behind the mirror as the object is in front of it. The size of image is the same as that of the object. Repeat, the left and right side of the original object appear to be exchanged in the mirror image. The image is as far behind the mirror as the object is in front of it. The size of the image is the same as that of the object. Students, let's know what is pinhole camera. Take an empty cylinder box. Remove its cap on one side and paste a thin white paper in its place. Make a small hole at the center of the other cap. Light a candle and hold the box in such a way that the flame of the candle is in front of the hole. Now you will see the upside down or inverted image of the flame on the thin paper at the other end. Students, the picture show transparent, opaque, translucent window pane and you have to spot them. Depending on the nature of window pane, we may or may not see the object on the other side to it. Okay? अब आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं जो फर्स्ट विंडो है ना उसमें स्काई क्लियरली दिख रहा है ना. सो इट इज़ द ट्रांसपेरेंट ऑब्जेक्ट. इफ यू सी दिस मिडिल विंडो little bit transparent is there. Okay, so that's such type of mirror we can say it is a translucent type of window. And what about this? You can't see anything. Okay, so nothing is seen. Light is not getting reflected, so we are not able to see any object behind the window. So this is an opaque object. So students, you have seen the opaque window through which we are not able to see anything. Now here some articles are given. You have to identify which of those are transparent, opaque and translucent object. Okay, so first of all I will tell you what is the meaning of transparent. Light passes through. Material through which the light passes is said to be transparent. Material through which the light does not passes is opaque. जिस मटेरियल से लाइट पास नहीं होती उसे ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट कहते हैं. ओके, एंड द मटेरियल थ्रू विच लाइट पासेस पार्शली. आधी लाइट पास होती है दैट मीन्स क्लियरली हमें कुछ भी दिखाई नहीं देता. ऐसे ऑब्जेक्ट्स को हम ट्रांसलूसेंट ऑब्जेक्ट कहेंगे. ओके, तो यहाँ पर क्या क्या है देखो. पीस ऑफ ए ग्लास, तो ग्लास के पीसेस है तो उसमें तो ट्रांसपेरेंट होता है ना ग्लास, सो इट इज़ ट्रांसपेरेंट ऑब्जेक्ट. व्हाट अबाउट वैक्स पेपर, translucent object. Tinted glass, it is transparent object. Then oil paper, translucent object. Okay, then white plastic, it is opaque object. A tea kettle, it is also an opaque object. Next, notebook, opaque. Cloth, opaque. Water, transparent. Wooden cupboard, opaque object. Sheet of notebook, it is an opaque object. Okay, so it is clear transparent क्या होता है, opaque क्या होता है और translucent क्या होता है. ट्रांसपेरेंट ऑब्जेक्ट वो ऑब्जेक्ट होता है हम मतलब लाइट जो है वो इजीली पास हो जाती है और रिफ्लेक्ट होता है तो हमें सब कुछ दिखाई देता है. Okay, we are able to see, that is said to be a transparent, whereas opaque we are not able to see anything. Okay, what is there to the other side, so there is an opaque object. And what about translucent? You are able to see but not able to see clearly. case. That is, the light is passing through it partially. That is why it is said to be a translucent object. Now we are going to see how shadow is forming. Yes students, तो shadow कैसे बनता है? If an opaque object come in the way of light, कोई opaque object प्रकाश के बीच में आ जाए तो क्या होगा? लाइट पास नहीं होगी और शैडो बन जाएगा. You will get shadow. If an opaque object come in the way of a light source, light does not passes through it. As a result, light does not reaches wall or any other surface of the other side of the object, and that part remain dark. वो अंधेरा रह जाता है. And this dark part is said to be shadow. Okay, that is shadow of the object, which is said to be, इसे हम क्या कहते हैं? परछाई. Yes, that is shadow. Okay, आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं कि किस तरह से गर्ल की परछाई पड़ी है पीछे की तरफ. हाँ, दिख रहा है ना आपको किस तरह से शैडो जो है वो बना हुआ है पीछे की तरफ. क्यों बना है? क्योंकि उतने रीजन में लाइट जो है वो नहीं जा सकती. लाइट डज नॉट पासेस थ्रू इट एंड दैट इज वाई द पार्ट रिमेन डार्क. उतना अंधेरा रह जाता है और बाकी का पार्ट जो है वो टॉर्च के कारण उजाला हो जाता है. तो वहाँ पर क्या हो गया? Yes, you get a shadow of the object. Yes, the shadow of an object is formed only when light does not passes through an object. The kind of shadow it forms depend upon the relative distance between the source of light and the object and source on the screen on which the shadow is formed. The shadow of an object formed due to sunlight is long in the morning and evening and short in the afternoon. We can easily notice these changes if we observe the tree along the roadside. These changes in shadow depend upon the source of light and the object and also on the surface on which the shadow is formed. कभी आपने रास्ते में चलते हुए ये नोटिस किया होगा कि आपके शैडोज़ जो है वो कभी लंबे लंबे होते हैं, कभी छोटे होते हैं, कभी शैडो आपको दिखाई नहीं देता. मतलब कहाँ रहता है वो? एकदम आपके पैर के नीचे होता है शैडो. इट शोज़ दैट सन इज़ ओवर योर हेड. ओके, कभी शैडो आपके बहुत छोटे होते हैं, कभी लंबे होते हैं. तो ऐसा क्यों होता है स्टूडेंट्स? पोजीशन ऑफ द सन. ओके, जो लाइट सन से निकलती है, सन से आती है और आपका जो डिस्टेंस है वो चेंज होते रहता है. ओके, समझ में आया? दैट इज अ काइंड ऑफ शैडो इज फॉर्म डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द रिलेटिव डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द सोर्स ऑफ लाइट एंड ऑब्जेक्ट. ठीक है, सोर्स ऑफ लाइट, ऑब्जेक्ट और स्क्रीन, इसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. अब हम एग्जाम्पल के ज़रिए देखेंगे. सो स्टूडेंट्स, try this. Ask your friend to stand at a certain distance from you in a big room and obtain the shadow of your friend on the wall with the help of a torch. Now, carry out the following action. Observe and make a note of change taking place in shadow. First, send friend close to the wall. Second, ask friend to come towards you. Third, next you move further away from him and towards him again. 4 number, hold the torch high and then low. 5th, go towards the left and then right of your friend and notice the change of shadow. So, the shadow of an object is formed only when the light does not passes through the object. The kind of shadow it forms depends upon the relative distance between the source of light, the object and surface of the screen on which the shadow is formed. The shadow of an object formed due to the sunlight in, is long in the morning and evening and short in the afternoon. We can easily note these changes if we observe the trees along the roadside. This change in the shadow depends on the source of light, the object, and also on the surface on which the shadow is formed. Students, just look at the do you know which is there on page number 102 of your science textbook, that is sundial. The sundial is an instrument that indicate the time which help of the extent and direction of the shadow of an object formed in sunlight. Earlier, time was measured by placing a stick parallel to the axis of the earth and by noting the position of its shadow or the dial at different time of the day. The largest sundial at Jantar Mantar, New Delhi. The research work presented by the Indian scientist Sir C.V. Raman regarding scattering of light is known as a Raman effect. He discovered this effect on 28 February 1928. To commemorate this event, 28 February is celebrated as National Science Day since 1987 in India. In the past, the British scientist Sir Isaac Newton made a special disc. On one side of the disc was divided equally into 7 petals of 7 colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The disc was fitted on a stand and rotated fast. As the disc rotated, the 7 colors disappeared and only white was seen. This proved that sunlight is made up of 7 colors. That is why the disc is known as Newton's disc. Newton wrote a book called as Optic about light. Always remember, students, the shape of the shadow depends upon the source of light, the object and the source of which it is formed. We should not get frightened by the shadow we see at night because there is a simple science behind that. Let's have a recap. A substance that emits light is a source of light. Natural sources of light are the sun, star, fireflies, etc. The lantern, the flame of a candle, the electric bulb, etc. are artificial sources of light. Light is propagated in a straight line. Light is propagated in a straight line. Light must be reflected from the surface of an object for the object to be seen. If an opaque object obstructs the path of light, it casts a sad shadow. White sunlight contains 7 colors. So, with this I am finishing the lesson. Have a nice day, students. Next